Hey, welcome! I'm Cassie, and I'm really excited that you stumbled across this video. Or maybe this video stumbled across you somehow, but either way, I'm really grateful because I hope that in the process of sharing a little bit about my story, it inspires you to start living a life of your own design. Because that's honestly my story when it comes to coaching. If we were to rewind 3 years ago, you would find post-grad Cassie in a bit of a tailspin because I was just entering the 9-to-5 corporate job world and I didn't have a clue. I was really having a hard time transitioning from a college life where I was in somewhat control of my activities, my free time, to a really regimented schedule and a whole lot of work-life imbalance going on. So you can imagine I struggled a little bit. Maybe you did too. Maybe you're in a similar situation, but for me, it was really difficult to have almost all of my free time eaten up by commuting to my interior design job in New York City. On paper, it sounds like I had it all. I graduated college, got my job in New York City, and I was living the life, but I had to move back home, live with my parents for a little bit before I could move into an apartment with my boyfriend. But a lot of my friends had their own jobs going on. Honestly, I lost a lot of the support system that I was used to having in college. So when my days started to look like this, get up, commute to the train station, take the train into New York City, have a full work day, take the train back home, eat dinner, go to bed, wake up and do it all over again. I mean, when my days started to look like that, it wasn't long before I really lost sight of the fun in my life. I didn't really have time to, or really I didn't have the energy to go out to the movies with friends or fit in a workout, go to the gym, go for a run. I really had the energy to sit on my couch and watch TV and binge Netflix. That was my idea of a good workout. So if you could picture me 15 pounds heavier, really stressed out because of my work-life imbalance, snacking on anything that looked unhealthy, that was me, believe it or not. And it took a really hard look in the mirror for me to figure out how I could make a change and figure out what I needed to change in my life to get it back to be more of what I wanted, what I was enjoying. So I really focused on seeking out ways to change my health and fitness. I had always been a fairly active person. I was involved in ultimate frisbee in college. I still am now, but I always played sports as a kid. I always enjoyed kind of doing outdoor activities, hiking, running, biking, all of that. So I never really lost touch with my health and fitness until I graduated college, and I really kind of had a whacked out schedule that didn't really let me fit those things in as easily. So I really gained all of that weight in my stressed out adult life, believe it or not. So I didn't really gain the freshman 15, I gained the post-grad 15. And I tried to do anything that seemed like it could work for me. Any of the fad diets, any of the crazy workout programs, or going to the gym super early, but nothing was sustainable. And I honestly kept giving up on myself and quitting on myself. And then I would get even more upset and down on myself, and I kind of permanently posted up on the couch watching TV instead of getting off my butt and doing something about it. So it wasn't until I found coaching where things started to shift for me. I think the biggest part of the opportunity I didn't really quite understand right away, which is why I turned it down twice. I turned this down twice before finally giving in, partly because I don't think I allowed myself to really understand what it was all about. I found this girl on Instagram who was living this fabulous life. She was kind of getting the control back. She was being unapologetically her. She was getting in the best shape of her life, and she offered me the chance to do the same thing. And it sounded almost too good to be true. I was a bit skeptical at first, to be honest, and I gave myself every excuse in the book. I'm not in shape enough. How could I be a coach? I don't have time for this. I commute to the city. I don't really have the money to spend on it because I buy $150 worth of items at Target for no reason. But that's what I kept telling myself. So it wasn't until the third time she approached me where I kind of had this hard look in the mirror and I said, "Hey, Cassie, what are you doing? What are you doing with your life? Are you happy? Have you made any improvement on all these things that have been driving you crazy for the last 3 years?" And I had no good answer. And I finally allowed myself to figure out what this coaching opportunity could look like in my life. And so I'll give you a little insight. Basically, there's 4 main things that I do every day as a coach. Number 1, I work on my own health and fitness journey. How rad is that? I mean, part of this opportunity is working to be your best self. And that doesn't mean lose 50 pounds. It could, and that's great. For me, it was lose the 15 that I had gained with all of my unhealthy habits. And then it was tone my muscles, build the strength that I had lost since college, and actually start building my muscle back. So I really I used coaching as a way to focus on myself so I can start feeling good about me and then be able to pay that forward to other people. So that is probably my favorite part about this opportunity because it starts with you and it starts with benefiting you in the best way, building these healthy habits, building the accountability so you can actually show up for yourself every day because it benefits you and no one else but you. If you don't do it, okay, too bad, you won't get any help either. So that was the kind of tough love thinking that really helped me say yes to this opportunity. And the second main part is not only working on your physical fitness, but working on your mental fitness too. Because I, again, had been really stuck in a lot of this negative self-talk and all of these excuses that were coming out. I wasn't usually like that. I used to be, and now I am again, but I used to be a really positive, bubbly person. And I think after college, I really started to get depressed and down on myself because I was letting myself stay in a really sucky situation. And I think being able to listen to podcasts and books on audio tape every day on my way to work, reminding me that I need to have strong self-esteem and I need to love my body in whatever shape it's in, and I can grow this business because I'm an entrepreneur and a leader and I can do these things. Hearing that every day really does change your life after a while. So mental fitness is step 1. Physical fitness is step 2. Switch that. Number 3 is being able to share my journey on social media. And this was something that I was probably the most scared about because I was never one to post on social media. Honestly, I was the silent scroller, looking at everyone else, never engaging. And eventually I realized that, hey, I have a voice too. I have a story. It deserves to be shared. If I can help at least one person by sharing my story, then getting outside of my comfort zone and posting on social media is totally freaking worth it. So I made the adjustment in my mindset to allow me to start sharing my journey on social media and reaching out to people and engaging with this community of people I knew, some people I didn't know, complete strangers, and starting to encourage them to start to change their lives too. And that is just the frickin' bomb. I mean, it's really great that not only do I get to work on my own health and fitness, but I get to pay it forward too and help other people. So I think between those 4 things that I get to do every day, I've really changed my life and I've changed my outlook on life, and I have filled the gaps in so many of the areas of my life that were lacking and missing. And I think I finally figured out that in order to live a life of your own design, you have to get off your butt and go do it. So I hope some of that resonates with you. I hope some of that sounds like, oh, hey, if she could do it, I could do it too. Because I know I was skeptical when I started, and I know I had a lot to learn, but the team totally lifts you up and gives you all of the tools and things that you need to succeed at this. And the best part about it is that you're changing your life first, and then you're just paying it forward and helping others. So if that sounds good to you, then I want you to reach out to me via email or any of my social media accounts, and let's have a conversation. Let's talk about how this could work for you and work in your life. And I'm so excited to get you started on this team.